Hello all, welcome to this session. So today this is Aavisek Choudhury, Enterprise Architect for the Digital Workplace Practice at HCL Technologies Limited. And with me I have got Shiv Kishan Sudhar, Solution Architect for the Digital Workplace Practice at HCL Technologies Limited. This is our first participation at Citrix Converge and we are very excited to be part of Citrix Converge 2021. We are one of the largest system integrator globally for Citrix and we manage thousands of VDIs across the globe. We are happy that we have given this opportunity to come and showcase some of our capabilities. We as a team in HCL Technologies Digital Workplace Practice work in the latest and greatest of the Citrix world, which we every day deploying for our customers. In this presentation today, we are going to take you through the automation for Citrix VDA Provisioning. In this session, we are going to tell you our point of view on the automation. We are also going to discuss about some of the benefits of automation, like how it can reduce the admin efforts, how it can help in the disaster recovery. We are also going to speak about how it can help in saving the time and what is our experience for a single task. We'll take you through a general lab environment and at last we are going to show you a few demos of the automation capabilities what we have developed. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Over to you, Shiv.
Thanks, Aavisek. Today, really excited to share details on view of automations and how it can really reduce the admin efforts. It not only help to reduce efforts and save time, but also help in disaster recovery. Automation describes a wide range of technologies that reduce human interventions in processes. Human interventions is reduced by predetermining decisions, criteria, subprocesses, relationships, and related actions, and embodying those predetermined in machines. Automations include the use of various equipment and systems. In control complexity, it can range from simple on and off control to multivariable high-level algorithm in such a way that process in DevOps stay at its set point despite disturbance. We can do automations with any DevOps tools like Azure DevOps. Let me draw your attention to understand that why automation is important. Giving the right tool, automation computer operations can surprisingly easy and can wrap major benefits. A recent study by leading trade journal asked the questions, what do you see as a most important benefit of a automated or unattended computer centers? The primary benefit of operations automations cited most often were cost reductions, productivity, availability, reliability, and of course performance. 5 major benefits of automations are: every business faces global pressures to increase their profitability. One approach is to reduce cost. Automation is a better and more intelligent approach to cost containment and reductions. The greatest opportunity is to increase service to the customer and user while systematically reducing cost. Automating disaster recovery means that there are tools in a place that remove the end and not much human involvement in the processes. Find a company that specializes the automations of disaster recovery like us. Inform the company of the system that need disaster recovery measures. Use the provided software to automate your disaster recovery processes. The advantage of automations of disaster recovery includes the process is much quicker so that the less downtime between disaster recovery happen. Automations remove the possibility of human error in disaster recovery. Automations remove the need of every employee to remember every step of the processes. An automated system can schedule, configures, backup, and security checks in a place to be prepared for any type of eventuality. How we can rely on automations and spin up hundreds of VDIs with the context of Citrix VDA automating provisioning. Aavisek will show you how to configure automations for Citrix VDA provisioning works, followed by a lab environment walkthrough and a exclusive demo. Thanking you all.
Thank you, Shiv. Now we are going to show you our experience on automation, how it can save a lot of time. We have taken a use case of replacing and updating the MCS catalog from scratch. we are going to show you how much time it has saved for us. For the last 1 year during COVID, we have deployed a lot of CVAD solutions for our customers with Citrix Cloud Control Plane and Azure Virtual Desktop. And during every deployment, we have used a lot of automation pipelines. HCL Citrix teams across the geos follows a process of repeatable deployment for each and every steps or process in the CVAD deployment. This includes creation of Azure landing zones, creation of Azure blueprints, creation of ARM templates, PowerShell and Terraform modules to deploy the entire project as an infrastructure as a code service. So here you can see it has saved a lot of time for one of the process. In this slide, you can see we have found the process which is actually going to replace the MCS catalog for one of the customer. And we have found that the entire time period of this single process, which have around 9 tasks, reduced by almost 77% with the help of automation. This is just for a single process, but when you have thousands of VDIs and you are providing a managed services, it can save you a lot of time apparently. I think you have noticed that some of the customers for which you have been working has a high level of maturity in terms of automation. They might have already a fully deployed DevOps environment with a dedicated team of developers working round the clock on that environment. Or you might have seen some of the enterprises has just introduced the infrastructure as a code in their environment and still trying to deploy the same across all the deployments in the organization. And some of the enterprises might be very new and they not at all have any automation in place. Today we'll see how a automation environment for CVAD typically looks like. In this slide deck, you can find all the information related to the infra components which are the part of the standard automation process in any enterprise. So let's discuss the slide deck thoroughly. Typical in any enterprise, the automation kicks off from the end user request, which are generally called the service requests and created in the organization ITSM tools. Most of them are ServiceNow or few of them are Remedy as well. Based on our experience, we have found customers with ServiceNow instances are very common nowadays. So most of our automations are based on ServiceNow, which are the front end for the end users. Almost 90% of the enterprises where we are working currently. With the growth of SharePoint Online and Power Automate, we have seen many of the organizations are also using SharePoint Online form integrated with Power Automate nowadays. So we have created the orchestration based on the Power Automate as well as the ServiceNow infrastructure. In a typical enterprise, when the user creates a service request on the ITSM instance or portal, this can be also a simple SharePoint Online form which are Power Automate integrated. Every request will have workflow associated with it. This process will send the request to a dedicated DevOps environment or trigger a PowerShell runbook in Azure Automation account or simply trigger a job in some virtual machine, which may be a Azure or on-premise like Azure Hybrid Worker Group. Or it can be a ServiceNow mid server as well. In most of the cases in modern DevOps infrastructures, it's generally Azure DevOps request. This Azure DevOps request is integrated with workflow. In ServiceNow, now you can directly model an Azure pipeline with ServiceNow apps. The ServiceNow extension on Visual Studio Marketplace help us to integrate the Azure pipelines with the DevOps applications in ServiceNow. In Azure DevOps, we generally have all the build pipelines created, tested, and ready for job. In our slide, we have divided the steps in two colors. The purple color represents a typical DevOps workflow or steps to execute the automation. In the first steps of the orchestration process, the purple button trigger an Azure pipeline based on the user request. In step 2, it will connect to Azure repos. In step 3, the Azure pipeline will run the jobs. And in step 4, it will create or modify or delete the resources in Citrix Cloud or in Microsoft Azure. However, if DevOps is not in the picture, the same steps can be done with the help of Azure Automation. In this case, multiple Azure runbooks are created. The runbooks will be executed in Azure Cloud. In this scenario, in step 1, user create a remote request, typically a SharePoint online request. In step 2, we use the Power Automate to connect with Azure Automation account. With the help of Power Automate, Microsoft Premium connector for Azure Automation account. In step 3, if the runbook is meant for Citrix Cloud, it generally uses a hybrid worker group VM to execute the tasks. If the runbook is meant for Azure, it will directly execute the runbooks in the Azure Automation account. Azure Hybrid Worker run PowerShell 5.1 to execute the Citrix SDK, which is currently not supported in PowerShell Core. In step 4, it will create, modify, or delete the resources in Citrix Cloud or Microsoft Azure based on the requirement. So these are the typical two ways how the entire orchestration works. So I hope you have now know or got an idea of the automation infrastructure, how it works in large enterprises nowadays. Since now you have a clear picture of the automation benefits, typical use cases, knowledge about the automation infra, I will directly jump into the demo which we have created for this presentation. So now we have reached at the most exciting part of today's presentation, for which I know all of you are eagerly waiting. So let's see a quick glimpse of what we have in today's demo. Before I start explaining the demo topics, I must inform you that instead of showing the details of Azure DevOps pipeline or ServiceNow orchestration part, today I am going to show you the vanilla PowerShell scripts, which we are using as a base of all the automation tasks. A little modification of these vanilla PowerShell scripts will turn it into Azure DevOps pipelines on an Azure automation runbook. These vanilla scripts can be run in any machine or any VM by the admins, which have the Citrix SDK PowerShell modules installed and have the Azure modules installed. Why I am going to show vanilla based PowerShell script here today is because you don't need to be an Azure DevOps developer to run these scripts. You can run them as a system admin of Citrix Cloud or Azure from any VM where these modules are installed. A basic PowerShell knowledge is enough to run the scripts in any Citrix Cloud and Azure environment. So let's see what we have today. We are going to create a new golden image from Azure Marketplace with the Office 365, and this will be a new multi-session Windows 10 desktop. Once the image is created, in the next step, we are going to downgrade the disk SKU of this VM to a LRS standard disk to save the cost, as by default, the LRS premium disk is created as a part of the automation. In our third step, we are going to add this VM to the domain controller without even logging to the VM. In the fourth step, we are silently going to install FSLogix software in the VM. Why FSLogix? It's because in all standard deployment across all our customers, we have chosen FSLogix as the container for user profiles. In the fifth step, we are going to install all the required software for this golden image, which include Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Adobe Reader, and System Agent for the monitoring. This section is very complex and a lot of lines of code has been written for the silent installation of all the required softwares for the customers. In the sixth step of the automation process, the latest VDA agent is installed silently. In the seventh steps, since it is a multi-session VM, we have installed the Microsoft Teams per machine-based installation. In the step number 8, we are going to update the Citrix MCS Catalog with the new VM. In step number 9, we are going to talk about the Azure DevOps and we'll show you a demo of the execution of Azure DevOps pipeline. And in the 10th and final part of this demo, we are going to show you another Azure DevOps pipeline execution, which will create the golden image from the Azure VM, which we have created in last pipeline, and publish it to the shared image gallery in different Azure region. So let's see what's going on here. I am in the PowerShell prompt, and I am listing all the files in the directory. This is my home directory. It's the create new VM directory. And I will be searching for the script which I'll use to create the VM. It is create vm4.ps1. I just ran the script. So it is asking me to select the appropriate Azure environment for the deployment. So in my case, it is Azure Cloud. I have selected this. Now I'm entering my credentials. So I'm typing my credentials. This is the demo lab. The domain of the demo lab is libdespace.demo.com. So let me enter my password for this. Okay, done. So I'm connected to the Azure subscription. So it is asking for the ID of the subscription. I just copied the ID here and I'm pasting the ID. Now the next steps, it is trying to show the list of the available locations where I can deploy the VM. So I just selected the East US and now it is showing me the available image publisher. So I'm going to select the Microsoft Windows Desktop because I'm going to create a Windows 10 Enterprise multi-session VM. And next place, it is showing me the available desktop offer. So I have selected Office 365 as the offer. So under Office 365, again, it is asking for the available image publisher version. So I have selected the latest one, which is 21H1. And now in the next step, it is showing me list of the VMs. So I am going to select standard B2MS to save the cost. So it is in the top. So yeah, I have seen that. So I just copied the standard underscore B2MS and scrolling down. So I just entered the VM size here. Moving forward. So it has found all the VNets in my Azure subscription. I just selected the core VNet where I'm going to deploy the VM, and it's showing me the list of the subnet inside the core VNet. So I'm going to select the dev subnet where I'm going to deploy this VM for the demo. So now it's automatically picked up a next image name. So this is very interesting. There is the algorithm which will actually find and tell you what should be the next VM name. So I just copy and pasted it here. And it is asking me whether I'm going to create a new resource group for this VM. Yes. So it is also telling me the new resource group name. This is also an algorithm which will tell the best fit resource group name. So I just copy and pasted that resource group name, and now it is showing me all the details what I have selected so far, and it is asking me whether I'm going to create the VM or not. I just press yes, and that's it. It started creating the VM. Okay, it took almost 8 minutes and 4 seconds here, and the VM is created. So I can go to the resource group. I just copy the resource group name. I just typed it, and yeah, it's showing here. Okay, so I can see all these 3 resources, one VM, one public IP, and one NIC card is created. So that's it, and VM is running, and I can see here. And also I can go to the disk. The disk is the premium SSD LRS. So I don't need a premium SSD LRS. I just wanted to downgrade the disk, which I'll show in the next step. So in the second demo, now I am going to show you how we can downgrade the disk SQ. So you can see I am in the Azure portal. I'm copying the name of the disk and I'm going to paste it in a notepad. And now I'm back to my PowerShell folder. So I'm running the script downgrade disk.sq.ps1. It asks for the disk name, which I already copied and pasted there. Now it is asking for the resource group name. I have copied and pasted the resource group name. That's it. I don't have to do anything else. It will take care of the rest of everything. And in the third step, it is asking the correct disk SQ. So here I have chosen the standard LRS. So done. That's it. I pressed here, and first it has shut down the VM. So it is showing me that deallocation of the VM is completed. Now after that, it has changed the disk SQ. It has mentioned changing the disk SQ now. Please wait, and everything is done. So disk SQ has been changed, and now again it is starting the VM. So as you see here, so it also mentioned the start time and end time. So you can see, you can directly go to the Azure portal and you can see that this SQ has changed. So I just click on the refresh button. I can see that it is showing standard HDD LRS. So that's it. So VM is running right now. So in the third part of the script, I'm going to add this VM to domain with the help of domain join script extension. So as you can see that I'm in the root folder and I'm running a script called invoke domain join Citrix. So it is actually going to push an extension in the VM. So I can see that extension is still not added here. So when I run the script, I can see now it's adding. The join domain extension is transitioning here. It's showing as transitioning. So that means the script is running in the background and is doing something in the VM. Okay, the script has ran and it is a success. So VM is currently part of the domain, and you can see here that provisioning has succeeded. So that's all about this demo. Okay, I am now in the fourth step of the demo. So I'm going to install FSLogix software right now. So I am in the root folder of the PowerShell script. So you can see here that I'm listing the PowerShell scripts which are available in the root folder once again. And I am going to run the invoke install FSLogix to VM.ps1 script here. So let me type the script name. So it is invoke install FSLogix to VM.ps1. So it is asking me the AZ resource group name. So this is the resource group name of the VM. So I know the resource group name of the VM. So this is my VM and the resource group name is AZRESRG3. Then it is asking for the VM name, which I know. So I just copy pasted the VM name here and that's it. You just have to press just enter. So you have to wait some time. And yeah, the execution of the script is completed. You can see it is showing as successful. So all the entries, all the registry entries for the FSLogix profile container as well as for the office container has been added to the VM. That's all about the script. Okay, I'm going to run the part 5 of the script. So in this script, I'm going to install the VDA agent in the VM. So I'm in the root folder of the VM right now. So the script name is invoke install VDA agent.ps1. I ran the script. It is asking me for the resource group name. So I again type the resource group name here. So in the next step, it is asking me for the VM name. And it takes some time, and it has installed the VDA agent. It was a little quick. So you can see the VDA agent installation status code is succeeded and provisioning is succeeded. So I can go to the VM, I just RDP to the VM and I am in the right VM as you can see, and I am typing app.uis.cpl so that I can go to the list of the applications which are installed in this VM. So I just click on refresh. Yes, Citrix Virtual Apps and Desktop 7.2106 version has been installed in this VM. So that's all. Okay, now I am typing the ls command. So in this part of the demo, which is the sixth part, I'm going to install all the required software for this VM. So I'm going to the root directory and listing all the files. So this particular script is called invoke install all software.ps1. So once I run the script, it will install multiple software which is required for this golden image. So the steps are similar. So I have to first enter the resource group name and then I am going to enter the VM name. So once I enter both the things, I just ran the script and that's it. So it will take some time and it will install all the software. You can see it has installed all the software in the VM. Provisioning is succeeded. In the part 7 of this demo, I'm going to show you how to install Microsoft Teams per machine base for this multi-session VM. So I am going to run the invoke install msteams.ps1 script. So I'm going to the root directory and run the script. So I have to type again the resource group name, which I typed, again the VM name it's asking, and I'm typing the correct VM name, and that's it. So I have to wait for some time and it is automatically silently going to install the Microsoft MS Teams in the virtual machine. So this is a per machine based installation. You can see everything is completed here. Provisioning of Microsoft Teams is succeeded. That's all about this demo. So in the step 8, I need to update the MCS image catalog with the latest VM which we have just created. But before that, I need to find the path of the disk image. So for that, I have to run the get dash prof scheme dash provisioning scheme name and my catalog name. So this command is going to show the details of the path of the disk of the image. So I am running this script. So you can see here, yes, I can see the path now. So you can see the master image path, image VM path is showing. And now I am running the script called update MCS machine catalog.ps1. So you can see here that the path is showing. So it is the correct path of the VM OS disk. So new VM will be created based on this OS disk. So it will take some time to update the MCS catalog with the new VM. So as you can see, the script is running in the background. So if you go to the Citrix Cloud portal, I can see that Jan 21 catalog is updating here. It's showing it's updating. So I can see that the machine catalog has been updated with the new VM. That's all about this demo. So I'm currently going to show you a demo of the step number 9 where I am running a Azure DevOps pipeline and it is going to create the same virtual machine what we have created for the golden image. Now I can see that the job has started, the agent has been pushed and the code has been checked in. Now automation, SL automation is running and it is creating new resources, new resource group, and now it started creating the new VM. So it's doing something. So it's logged into the Azure subscription and it is going to create the new VM as you can see here. And you can see the time is passing by. So it took almost 3 minutes and 28 seconds to create the new VM. So VM has been created. So you can see all the details going to that particular job. Now it's installing FSLogix, which is the next job. Now installing all the softwares. Okay, it is installed all the software and the job is completed. It is checked out. So it's cool. So everything is completed and this particular job is ready. So currently I am in the last and final part of the demo. So I'm going to use a Azure pipeline which is going to create an image in the Azure shared image gallery from the golden image VM which we have just created. So it has started running the job. It is called image process job. So first it is checking the code and so I started running the SL automation. It's doing the sysprep of the VM. So you can see here. And then it is going to generalize the VM. So sysprep of the VM took almost 1 minute and 8 seconds. So it started deallocating the VM. And it took almost 1 minute and 31 seconds to generalize the VM. Now it is creating the shared image gallery. So it's taking some time. Okay, it's done, 39 seconds. The next step is the creation of the image definition. So it is creating the image definition. Okay, it also took almost 39 seconds. And the final step is the creation of the image version. So this is a long step and it will take some time. You can see the image has been replicated from east US to west US. So replication will take some time, depends on the network speed. It is also mentioned in the output. So it is also completed. It took almost 1 hour and 10 minutes 21 seconds. So that's it. The job has been completed. Job checkout has been done. And that is how it works. So that's all about the demo which you have seen.
So I hope you like the demo.
With that, I would call today a wrap. I wish you all a great Converge. I hope you have attended all the sessions and have gained a lot of knowledge. Once again, thank you very much. Bye bye.